Alright.
Isekai, the promise of another world. A chance at freedom, unshackled from the Isekai, the promise of another world. Unforgiving landscapes where thirst is inevitable. Isekai, the promise of another world. A world full of fantastical wildlife abundant. Today we explore a genre defined by its world building and fantastical story, beginning in the homeland of Isekai, Japan. What dreams led them to be the pioneers of this genre? Alright, maybe Isekai isn't as fantastical as I've made it out to be. There is undoubtedly an issue, which is unavoidable. The result of greed.
Oh, I don't. Hell yeah!
And lack of ambition. And that is...
I wish I had your figure, Shirley. I'm so jealous.
Yes, the global phenomenon Isekai Trash. Littering the world, our once beautiful and thriving wildlife are now fighting for survival. The tales, once spun like a tree, towering, now trimmed to a self-explanatory premise treated as a trinket. But does trash need to be harmful? Is every piece of trash the same?
Oh, hi. I'm Jacob, doing my part separating trash from treasure. Today, we have a show that many call trashy, but in the same sentence, sing its praises. What is this paradox, and is it true? We'll explore this and find out the difference between trashy and nourishing.
君がミミズだと思ったものはまだ鞘に入っているだけかもしれないんだから。
これは
遊びは終わりだ。してくる。行くんだ。開始。
Now, the wonderful thing in Isekai is exactly in the name, another world. With another world, we can explore many options. It could be a futuristic, cyberpunk. Okay, I'm lying here. Most of the time, we're falling into a fantasy world with magic, swords, a primitive society. Within these isekai worlds, we usually have two types of things that are somewhat consistent within these shows. One, a character is reincarnated or teleported / summoned into this world. Whether we know if it's for some kind of reason, some kind of problem going on in the world and they need help, or if there's maybe some kind of ulterior motives. Why were they reincarnated? Who reincarnated them? Is that just some kind of meh plot thing that they throw in? Oftentimes it is. With that, this character is from modern day Earth. It provides us an opportunity to explore a character's past, their issues in the modern world being addressed in the new world, maybe questioning your morals, slavery.
For the right price, she's yours for doing with as you please.
Oh yeah! Oh, dragons.
There's no way in hell you're really just a D.
I'm a D for dragon if that helps.
The other important part within these isekai shows is there's a power fantasy. Whether the character is intentionally growing and abusing maybe the world's mechanics or magic to further themselves.
Battle power 1364.
Or just become badasses who magically end up on some kind of semi-OP strong skill. You watch continuously to see, will they overcome the next thing?
No! There's no way that you can have as much as this!
Actually, I do. But this is all I'm able to release now.
However, in years past, we've ran into this Isekai Trash area. We forego the first key element of being reincarnated or summoned, and rather, it's subtly mentioned, 10 seconds, boom, let's go, next chapter. What's their special power that they're gonna utilize? Oh, I'm reborn as a vending machine. Oh, I'm a sword. And obviously this is a fantasy genre. Indulgence comes with the territory. Escapism comes with it. But there's a line that has been overstepped with all of these shows where they have this one power and all the women of the whole world come to corral around this man.
If you're that scared, you can always sleep in my bed tonight where it's safe. That responsibility belongs to me and me alone.
We lose what makes isekai special. The normie perspective. The struggle of being incapable physically, or the challenge of keeping mental stability. This change of direction, now it's just an overindulgence in power and boobs. So you may be asking, Jacob, what does Eminence and Shadow have? How is it Isekai Trash falling into all these pitfalls that you mentioned? Does it have one-dimensional waifus? Hi! One-dimensional villains? A predictable story?
Once upon a time, there once was an OP protagonist, and he was a
super elite agents.
And yet also elevates and becomes a true isekai legend.
なんだお前俺か俺はただのスタイリッシュ
Isekai
プレイヤーだ普通に殴った方がこれがバールのポテンシャル待て
Yeah, Max.
Jacob, we're back on. Do you always want to be like this? Strung along to be a love interest, just to be tossed aside for your lack of D?
If you have an egg, wouldn't it be better to make an omelet rather than expect a chick to hatch when there was never the potential in the first place? Many anime have this issue, where they provide us a character to fall in love with or get invested into, but then after their arc they become flat, standing around as if they are important,
Yes, sir!
but have no real involvement. Hi, I'm pointless. Me too. Back up. Our romance plot has been given up on 8 episodes ago.
Just kidding, I want you to
And this results in the awkward egg situation where what you thought was going to end up hatching into a $5 full rotisserie delicious meal ended up just being an egg to be fucking tossed around in an omelet. We want hot anime girls. They look great, smell great, and feel great. Allow us to indulge in these characters without sidelining us with over-invested backstories that end up cheapening the experience you have with these characters. If we know from the get-go that they are to be enjoyed in small doses, then we don't end up with this secondhand embarrassment while a character sits around wishing to be part of the story again.
How am I doing? Are any of those good?
I don't have a defense for this. The way 1D villains work for this show is as simple as every other isekai. A villain. Someone to be attacked to create cause and effect. But what differentiates it is how it utilizes the main character with the villain. The villain is not an example for the main character to flex their skills only. Rather, in this show, the main character outshines the villain and becomes the greater threat, the greater fear that causes inspiration and growth in the three-dimensional characters. And we wouldn't have a main character that causes these ripples without density. No.
Would you like to have me as a reward?
Not that.
All I want to do is study and become a master of magic.
Here we go.
Well, is there anything I can do?
Do you want to make love to me?
What's wrong? You don't have a fever, do you?
If you could just let me drink a little bit of your blood.
Will that be enough? You must be tired. Why don't you get some rest? What's wrong?
Density. A word that strikes many thoughts. A lot of people complain about Shadow himself being too dumb. He's too straightforward. He has no flexibility. The first time I watched through, I was confused as to how this character was just so amazing. And this provides a new perspective that I never thought I could find within an anime. Within anime, the main character is generally a lens from which we see the world that is constantly changing.
I belong with you. I want to be by your side.
So how do you make a main character who is unchanging enjoyable?
Do you mean I'm like family to you?
I'm in love with you.
Like a sister.
Oh, Shiro.
Yep, that's it. We solved it. Instead of the main character being the changing lens in which you see the world, experiencing the hero's journey that Isekai often tries to emulate, instead, the main character is the destination. You switch the perspective. Instead, you're the villain. The main character is the villain. You're influencing other characters to change themselves, to become these more in-depth, three-dimensional characters. And within Eminence and Shadow, that's what we experience.
Might I ask you to stop glancing over at my Excalibur?
When you have a character that is unmovable, everything around him changes to that shape. And so you have these characters that end up having very complex feelings towards him, and seeing how they interpret it, whether it be correct or incorrect, and how that's going to affect the story in the future, is just a treat to watch. Jacob, what do? We haven't even talked about animation or sound design, and we need to launch in 24 hours. Okay, don't panic. We'll just toss together a bunch of clips, put some banger music over it, and we'll be all right. Right?
捕まえた。さっきより動きが単調だ。
おかしくないよね。お。
Mission complete.
Part of me wants to just sit here and tell you about how perfect this show is. Amazing music. Victorian music is awesome. It has Alexia Mingar is awesome. Beautiful assets. I dream of her lots. Unforgettable side characters. And think of Delta's butt. And one other thing that Eminence and Shadow has done for me personally is I found out that my cousin loves Delta, and that makes him a furry. Now I know. That's what makes Shadow awesome. So, should you watch Eminence and Shadow? Hi! What's my best height?